Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date, it's February 17th, 2012. I wanted to update you a little bit. First thing, I was going to buy a rice cooker in about the $50 range or whatever from Amazon. But I was up at Walgreens and they had this little one for $16. So I picked it up. And I've never used a rice cooker before. I'm not even sure when I first heard about rice cookers, but I made rice yesterday and it came out good. I used just one of those little boxes that you find in the grocery store that has a little flavoring pack in it and everything, and I made it. I had already purchased a book on uh, how to use a rice cooker, and it has 250 recipes in it and everything. I don't think you can tell here on the video, but uh, no, in fact, it looks good when I'm looking. But actually, reading this, the paper is sort of off-white or cream or something. The print, I wish was bold or darker, and the same, it's just. I mean, I can read it, but excellent book, and I haven't read it yet. I've just sort of, scanned it, looked at a couple items. Looks great. I just wish they had. I think they had some artistic design or something, idea, and I just wish it was a little easier on the eyes. So far that has worked out okay, and I got a bunch of rice in yesterday, different kinds of rice. So we'll see how that works. How that works out. Uh, what else? I want to comment a little bit about the election, about the Republican candidates running, and now, of course, Rick Santorum is their man. It looks like, and it's unbelievable. When I mentioned before, he was really, just when it looked like maybe he started to make a move, I mentioned that, boy, this guy is he's not a winner, he's a loser, and that his positions on things were really going to, hurt him. And I cannot believe that he's worse than what I even thought he was. And I feel sorry for the Republicans. The economy was the issue, and it looked like, and I've discussed that on my blog, showmeblog.com, and I got some other blogs too, that the Republicans had a chance with the economy to beat President Obama because of the unemployment rate, although it's come down now, and because of other conditions that he was vulnerable and he could be beaten, but he can't be beaten by Rick Santorum. And for the Republicans, unfortunately, the unemployment rate has come down. Uh, More jobs are being created. The economy looks like it's improving. And President Obama can say, hey, the situation is still bad. There are problems ahead, but don't stop, the improvement. Things are getting better. Don't stop it. So he's in a really good position now, which is surprising. And the Republicans, though, are moving away from, it appears right now. Of course, who knows next week? They're moving away from the candidate that they could say this is a businessman. and he knows how to make money, and he has contacts, and he's been successful in this area and that area. And they had a window of opportunity. But now the Republicans, because of the Tea Party and some hardcore right people in the Republican Party, they moved to Santorum, who was talking nonstop about gays. So much so that makes me think that he must be a closet gay, because that's all he talked about, no matter what the issue. Well, what's your feeling about unemployment rate? Gays are the problem. What's your feeling about, uh, Iran getting nuclear weapons? Gays are the problem. And so you're thinking, this guy's got one thing on his mind. But now, you know, I mean, the Republicans a long time ago wrote off all black voters. They even ran more than one presidential election that was just sort of anti-black. It was, what was it? Crime, let's see, law and order, we want a president that's for law and order. We want law and order, and it was code words for, code for, blacks against blacks or whatever. And they've always, they've written blacks off. Okay, we don't care. We're not even going to try to get their votes. Now, this election, they made a small attempt, or not a small attempt. They made a big attempt to try to get, Hispanic voters, Spanish-speaking voters. They're not going to have much success with their, because of their position on immigration and sending anybody that speaks Spanish back to Mexico, even if they don't come from Mexico. So they don't have much chance in that regard, but a little. Well, the Cuban people in Florida, that's a big constituency. They do have those voters, have had. Um, but now, with Rick Santorum, and of course next week he may not be the Republican leader, but with him, the issue now that he's talking about is it's not even abortion now, it's birth control. He's talking about birth control as a sin. Birth control is bad. You shouldn't use birth control. Uh, you know, it's what he's doing is what the Republicans are doing is writing off all women voters. I mean, they're losing. They're just they're going to lose the election. I mean, 99% of Catholic women in the United States use birth control. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. And the Republicans, and they don't seem to, I think though that, of course the establishment, the Speaker of the House now has been showing some signs that he and some of the other people know what the situation is and are trying to do something, about it, because right away the uh, highway bill, the uh, tax break bill, and even the unemployment money or whatever, they're approving those and working towards, that. So, but American people are kind of funny. You can have total disaster one day because of some position or something that happens. And because of the news cycle and CNN and cable news and the internet and everything, before the election, a month from now or 5 or 6 months from now, people may have moved on to a new subject. But it looks unbelievable that right as of right now, of course, the polls just show President Obama like leading all the candidates if he were against, and he's 50, above 50, and they're below 40, which in the United States is a landslide. A lot of our elections are just so close. But I don't know. It just looks like, man, the Republicans are totally uh, destroying any chance that they have of, winning the election. And that's, of course, that's part of the problem. They want to make sure that President Obama does not get a second term. And they, from the very beginning, that was, oh, no second term for Obama, no second term for Obama. That's, and that, it should have been, their goal should have been to get as many Republicans elected, to get a Republican elected president, but to get other Republicans elected and to get as many votes as they could. But because of this crazy ideology, and Republicans now are always, starting with Clinton, like maybe it's always been that way, but Republicans from day one, before Clinton was elected, they positively hated him. I mean, just with a passion. It was just crazy, foaming at the mouth. And it's the same with President Obama. I guess it's always been that way with the Republicans. Back when they hated FDR, they hated Harry Truman. Uh, I don't think it was the same. I mean, they sure didn't like President Carter, but it doesn't seem to me. President Carter was a Southerner and he was a Baptist. Maybe that's got something. I don't, they didn't like him. They don't like him now, but there's just something about, about the Republicans. And man, I thought just a short time back that the Republicans, had a very good chance of defeating, President Obama. But now it looks like, of course, who knows next week and if it goes to if the Republican, of course, they're shooting themselves in the head with all this, fighting, and they're destroying their candidates unless it goes to the convention and they haven't picked somebody, and then somebody can come in who hasn't been damaged. Uh, Jeb Bush, although the Bush name would be kind of bad, but he's not a bad person actually. That's probably the best of the Bushes. But if somebody comes in at the convention and were to win, but these candidates they're getting chewed up bad. Anyway, that's enough. I talked more about politics than I wanted to. Thanks very much for watching.